Good morning. Welcome, welcome. It's Mike and Marianne Real Estate. How are you today? It is Tuesday. That means Tuesday at 10 is what? Ask Mike real estate questions.
Mike's favorite day.
Mike's favorite day. We are going to turn the camera around.
Oh.
I know, right? And then we're going to ask Mike some questions. We get asked all the time. Say good morning.
Hey,
So, are you ready? Ready for some tough questions?
are you talking to me or the people on the...
I'm talking to you.
Yeah,
I'm talking to you.
you talking to me? Yeah, I'm ready. Gosh.
So, we get
How
asked...
did I pick someone like you? Anyway.
Because you love it. We get asked property tax questions all the time.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And one of the big questions we get asked is, if I buy my parents' home, do I automatically, that's the key word, automatically assume their property taxes?
No,
It was a trick question.
it is. Only because it says automatically. You don't automatically get it. There's, we would refer you to Prop 58 that's in the state of California. And let me read it to you. It says, Proposition 58, reassessment exclusion for real estate property taxes between parent and child. And basically, in general, Proposition 58 states that the real property transfers from parent to child or child to parent may be excluded from reassessment. Proposition 193 expands that. That goes from parent to grandparents to grandchildren. So yeah, you can't take it with you. You will need to fill out the forms, and in so doing, submit them. I believe you have 3 years to get it done. And don't overlook this, because I've been with people who have told me they've sold their house, and I said, "Where are you moving to?" And they said, "We're buying my parents' house." Oh, great! And your realtor told you about Prop 58, right?
Duh.
No. So they would have been reassessed at the new value. Now, if their mom had bought the house in the 60s and paid, $15,000, $20,000 for it, and now they're buying it from mom at $1 million, they would get to keep those taxes from the 60s. But if the realtor doesn't tell them to fill out the right forms, it's going to get bumped up to 1.25% of $1 million. So
That's no fun.
be smart, ask questions, and as always, as we say, call us. It doesn't cost you a penny. We're not attorneys. Although sometimes we look like, no. But and we don't charge you for questions. So call, ask the questions. If we don't know the answers, which is slightly we won't, mostly we do, but we'll find them for you. And we'll get them to you and be able to help you with any situation. But again, and remember this too, whenever you're dealing with taxes, talk to your tax consultant. And I would even go so far as your attorney in that situation and have them help you fill out the paperwork. So if there is mistakes,
Right.
And
I can attest to that, because when my grandmother died, my dad and I inherited her home, and we transferred the property to my dad, and then we transferred the property to me
in
its entirety.
Right.
Yeah, in given time frames. Right. And the attorney needed to fill out the paperwork because I filled it out the first time and it got sent back. So, big surprise! It's harder than it looks.
I found a deficiency, Marianne.
Prop 60 and 90.
Prop 60
talk
and 90.
about that a little bit?
No, I didn't know we were going to talk about Prop 60 and 90.
We can. We
what
should.
did you want to talk about on that?
About homeowners 55 years or older and their ability to transfer the tax base of their previous principal residence to a replacement residence of equal or lesser current market value.
They can take their property taxes with them. A while back, there was a number of counties that reciprocated this, where you could, if you sold here, you could go to San Bernardino or San Bernardino to Los Angeles. But some of the counties started saying, "Wait a minute, you're selling your properties at this price, and our values, and they're not matching. You're getting a bigger place." And so anyway, some have backed out. But if you do it for sure with an LA county, you'd have to check with the county too who they reciprocate with, and it may be still. It could be LA, San Diego, all those counties, but check with the county tax assessor again. But within LA County, yes, you can. If you're 55 or older, you can take your property taxes with you as long as the value is at what you sell for and or buy for.
Right.
So,
and those two things that we just discussed tie into one another, because you can only do one or the other, correct? You can only transfer your property tax basis to your children or grandchildren, or to your own new property if you sell your property.
Well, correct, but the reason you would take the property taxes with you is, one, parents are deceased, they've died, and the trust is selling the house to you, and you take it subject to the existing, or mom and dad are moving into a retirement facility.
Where they purchase.
They purchased, or you're going to stay there. You know, they're going to rent a place for so much a month. They can sell the house to you. They can have some income, and or if they moved out of the state, moved to Kansas, where property's not as expensive,
right?
And they would buy and take those taxes there, and you would be able to take theirs. Yeah.
And there's a lot of intricacies to all of these things. You should definitely research them, and I will attach the link to the comments below on our videos. So you should read through it so you're clear on the
there's expanded
details.
definitions for Prop 58 and 193.
Yeah.
And it says to see Revenue and Taxation, R&T, Code Section 63.1. It's available online at...
your county tax assessor's office.
Yeah,
and I'll attach the link
right.
for LA County Tax Assessor. All right, so let's move on to question 2. This is our favorite question. I love this question. Question 2.
Why was I not warned of question 2?
When is the best time to list my home, Mike?
Today. It's funny you ask that, because everybody thinks it's springtime, and it can be. But the reason I say that is because springtime typically is a time when people prepare for their moves. If they have children, because what they'll do is they'll want to sell and close right around the closing of school time, and then get situated in their new area where they've bought sometime and move in July, August, and then get the kids ready for school, so if they're moving somewhere else. I would say that's not necessarily true, only because if I told you to wait till springtime and interest rates went up to 15%, wouldn't be a good time, would it? So you need to know the market. You need to know what's going on in the market. You need to know what's going on with the economy. My best months have been November, December, a number of years. Mm-hmm. We don't read minds. We don't know what interest rates are going to be. Speculation, they've said on the news, is it could be another recession. Interest rates are going to get bumped up again. Well, typically when interest rates go up, prices go down. It's good if you're buying somewhere, but if you're selling, it might not be. It might be good if you sold now and then waited a few months and bought, but some people don't have that, and we don't want to store stuff. So just think about the best time to sell is when you're ready to sell, when it's time to move. Don't try to guess the market. Don't try to guess the economy unless you're an economist or financial person. You might know a little bit more. But to be safe when it's time to sell, and you're ready to move, and things are going well, that's the best time to sell. So I don't think it's any time of the year. I think it's when time's right. And like I've always said, when you sell a house, pricing is everything. 95% of all marketing on your house is done the minute we put a price on it. If you price it aggressively and at a price where it should sell at, it will probably sell at that price or more. If you price it too high, buyers will say, not reasonable, I'm not coming around. I don't need to look at that yet. Let's wait till the price drops. So anyway, that's my answer to question number 2.
You answered multiple questions.
I did.
You answered the question of, does the increased activity drive the prices up on listings?
There you go.
So there you go. And then, should I wait to see if interest rates are going up before I list my house? Oh. I tell ya.
I'm Karnak the Great.
So maybe you can read minds.
So, Johnny Carson, Karnak the Great. I guess you're too young to know that one, Mary.
Just saying. Anyway, so what does property... This is something that we talk about a lot. We don't always get asked it directly, but it always comes into conversation. So what does property depreciation mean? And can I apply that to my personal property or only a second home or income property?
Well, I'm not going to tell you where you can apply it, but where I think you can and know you can is with only income property. You can't depreciate your own home. But I want to read you the definition of what depreciation is. But it is a way to write off a portion of your property, and it's spanned over 27.5-year time frame. Definition of depreciation: the monetary value of an asset decreases over time due to use, wear and tear, or obsolescence. This decrease is measured as depreciation. And then it goes into accounting estimates, the decrease in the value using the information regarding the useful life of the asset, this is useful for estimation of property value for taxation purposes, like property taxes, etc., and or on your tax returns. It's best you talk to your accountant about depreciation. But a small example, if you had a property and the land was worth $75,000 and the building portion is worth $125,000, you would be able to depreciate that $125,000. The portion that is being used, not that the land isn't, but land doesn't, it doesn't fall apart unless you don't take care of it. But you would be able to depreciate the $125,000 over 27 and a half years, which equates to like $4,400, I think,
a year
annually.
Yeah.
So every year on your tax return. Now, for the same reason that when you do your taxes, and again, talk to your tax consultant when you go to sell an income property, they're going to try to grab some of that back. And that's why some people own real estate in a number of places, a number of income properties, when they will sell their properties if they've owned it for a long time, so they can recapture that depreciation.
So they have more write-off during the
More
year.
write-off. Now, again.
Hey, say hi to our new groupies, Aggie and Lynn.
Hey, Aggie, what's going on? Those are our escrow people, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that'll answer your question on overhead depreciation,
Yeah.
correct? So.
Yeah. That's it. That's all we had today.
Yay! Next week's Marianne's turn.
I know Mike's going to be out of town, so it's all me.
No, I'm not. But you think I am.
Oh, tricking me.
No, I'm going to be out of town. I'm not necessarily out of town, but I'm going into some little medical surgical things. So anyway,
Say goodbye.
thanks for joining us. We appreciate your time. And remember, any questions, feel free to give us a call. We're here all the time. Our phone numbers are there. Marianne and I are out running around through town, knocking on doors, saying hi, and just give us a ring. We'd be glad to help you in anything, whether you have a real estate agent or not.
And our contact information is in the description. And if you ever need us, you can always email us as well. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.